Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I've been blown away by the support and growth we've seen lately. A while back, I made a video about California's history, but looking back, I know I could have gone deeper. So today we're doing just that. We're going to dive into the story of Los Angeles, armed with merely 200 rare photographs from before the Second World War. The goal isn't just to look at old pictures. It's to compare the official, written history with what these images actually show. The story they tell might be different from the one you think you know. Before we get to the photos, let's set the stage. The history of Los Angeles didn't start with Hollywood or even the Spanish. For over 11,000 years, this land was home to the Tongva and Chumash peoples. These weren't just simple tribes. They had complex societies with vast trade networks. They were masters of their environment, using seeds, dyes, and crafting intricate beads. In fact, the name Chumash is thought to mean bead maker. During a period known as the medieval warm period, from about 950 to 1300 AD, the climate became more favorable and their populations flourished. There's also a fascinating, though debated, theory about even earlier contact. Some historians suggest that Polynesians may have visited the California coast between 600 and 800 AD. The evidence? Striking similarities in language and, most convincingly, technology. The sewn plank canoe, a complex boat-building technique, appears in both ancient Polynesia and among the coastal tribes of California. This idea challenges the conventional narrative and opens up questions about just how connected the pre-Columbian world really was. Fast forward to the age of European exploration. Spain officially claimed California in 1542, but here's where the timeline gets strange. Despite this claim, there was no significant Spanish settlement for over 220 years until 1769. The Pueblo of Los Angeles itself wasn't founded until 1781 by a small group of just 44 settlers. And these weren't purely Spanish pioneers. They were a diverse mix of indigenous, African, and Spanish heritage. Even by 1820, the population of this future metropolis was only about 650 people. After Mexico gained its independence from Spain in 1821, Los Angeles became a part of the Mexican territory of Alta California. This period was short-lived. Following the Mexican-American War, the United States took control in 1847, but LA remained a small, remote town. The Transcontinental Railroad wouldn't connect it to the rest of the country for several more decades. Then, in 1892, everything changed. Oil was discovered and the boom began. The growth that followed was nothing short of explosive. From a population of just a few thousand, Los Angeles swelled to over 100,000 people by the year 1900. To support this influx, the city undertook monumental infrastructure projects. Giant aqueducts were built to bring water from hundreds of miles away. Dams, tunnels, and extensive rail systems reshaped the landscape. Entire hills were leveled to make way for development. In 1910, a small suburb called Hollywood was incorporated, and by 1932, the city was on the world stage, hosting the Summer Olympics. This is the official story of a city built from dust and determination. But now, let's turn to the photographic evidence. This is where the narrative starts to get complicated. As we look at these old photos, you'll see things that don't quite fit the image of a simple frontier town rapidly growing. Many of the buildings we see appear to be half buried, with windows and doorways leading directly into the ground. Others are built right into the sides of hills, seemingly carved from the earth itself. They're constructed of massive stone and intricate brickwork, suggesting a level of permanence and sophistication that feels out of place for a brand new settlement. One of the most curious features in these photos is the prevalence of enormous tunnels. We're not talking about small sewers. These were massive arched passageways. And they weren't just utilitarian projects hidden from view. Old photographs show people visiting the construction sites almost like tourist attractions. There were even public events and trolley-like rides inside some of them, suggesting they were cultural landmarks in their own right. We see houses built directly into the hillsides, seemingly integrated with these vast tunnel systems. It's a very different picture from the one we usually imagine. The architectural styles also present a contradiction. All over the city, we see these grand solid buildings made of stone and masonry, structures that look like they were built to last for centuries. Yet in the very same photos, the streets in front of them are often unpaved, muddy tracks. It creates a strange visual disconnect. Why build such magnificent structures before basic infrastructure like paved roads was in place? It raises the question, Were these buildings really built by the new settlers, or were they perhaps repurposing something that was already there? Another surprising element is the sheer number of theaters. Grand buildings labeled as theaters, auditoriums, and playhouses are everywhere in these old photos. We see magnificent indoor dome theaters and huge outdoor amphitheaters built into the landscape. This suggests an incredibly strong cultural and ceremonial focus for the city, perhaps with roots that go much deeper than the arrival of the Hollywood film industry. It seems Los Angeles was a city of spectacle long before it became the entertainment capital of the world. Let's look at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Completed in 1921 for the 1932 Olympics, it was a colossal structure with a capacity of over 100,000 people. It was built on a massive earthen mound, with a grand Roman-inspired design that earned it the nickname, the Grand Old Lady. The style seems to deliberately evoke a sense of ancient history, making it look much older than it was. This choice of architecture, built on such a massive scale, adds to the sense of a city aspiring to an almost mythic sense of importance. Now let's examine the construction of the famous Los Angeles Aqueduct. Photos of the project show enormous masonry blocks and vast, finished channels. But when you look closely at the construction photos, you see a relatively small workforce. The tools are mostly horses, carts, and hand tools. The sheer scale of the finished project seems almost incompatible with the labor and technology visible in the images. Then you see photos of the aqueduct's opening ceremony with crowds of over 20,000 people celebrating. There's a disconnect between the humble construction process shown and the monumental achievement being celebrated. Even City Hall, completed in 1928, has an aura of mystery. Its architectural style is intentionally grand and historic, making it appear older than its construction date. A particularly striking photo from the era shows the top of the building illuminated against the night sky. For the 1920s, the visual feels incredibly advanced, almost futuristic, further blurring the lines between the past and the present in the city's identity. And it wasn't just the city center. Let's look at Santa Monica, which was incorporated in 1886. Almost immediately, it boasted luxurious hotels and sophisticated amusement piers. Photos show roller coaster-style transportation systems and elaborate mechanical rides. This wasn't a slow, gradual development. It was an explosion of complex engineering and entertainment infrastructure, appearing almost overnight in what was supposed to be a newly settled coastal town. Finally, consider the scale of public gatherings. We have a photo of an Easter service from the early 20th century with an estimated 50,000 people in attendance. So, what does all this mean? I'm not here to give you a definitive answer or claim some absolute truth. The purpose of this video is to present the evidence and let you decide. On one hand, you can see this as a story of incredible human achievement, a testament to the speed, ingenuity, and ambition of the pioneers who built a world-class city from scratch in just a few decades. It's a powerful and inspiring narrative. On the other hand, you could look at these buried structures, the out-of-place architecture, and the mysterious tunnels, and wonder if there's more to the story. Could this evidence point to something older, a forgotten chapter in the history of Los Angeles that has been built over and paved over? I'll leave the interpretation up to you. I encourage you to look at the photos, think critically, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. Thanks so much for watching and for joining me on this exploration. If you found this interesting, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more deep dives into forgotten history. See you next time.